Hi, this is Athena Jezik, and I thought I would give you a little update of this incredible experience I've just been through. I'm I'm moving along well. I expect to be pretty much back to normal in maybe a month or two, but the actual healing process of the rod in the leg and the healing of the bone is going to take close to a year to heal completely, where I'll feel totally back to myself. And all in all, I'm in a pretty good mood and pretty good spirits. We got to film today for the first time in a long time, and it felt really good. So I just wanted to update you and give you a little history about what happened. Um, I did want to say also thank you for those of you who were able to donate to the GoFundMe site that Corrina put up for me. Because of my situation, I don't have really good insurance, but I was surprised it covered a lot more than I thought it would cover. My home therapy is covered 100%, and the rehab was covered very well. The surgery was covered, most of it, and there were other things now that I just have. So we're able to drop the amount that we thought we were going to need because I didn't think my insurance would cover that much, and that's a good thing. I am so grateful to those of you who are able to support me financially in this time. And I really do appreciate it, because without your help, I don't know what I would have done. So thank you so much. And I really mean that from the bottom of my heart. And those of you who were able to, you really touched me in a very special way. And those of you who also gave me prayers and all of that, that's also very helpful. I'll start out that last March, in the middle of my move to this other place, I was trying to catch something that was falling, and I ended up twisting my leg in a certain way, and I heard my bone snap. I had to go to the emergency room then, and there was a hairline fracture that showed up, and kind of the bone was weakening around that. So they gave me crutches, and during the move, it was incredible because I couldn't do anything. The pain was excruciating, and they wouldn't fix the leg at that particular time. They just wanted me to get more diagnostics, of which I couldn't afford, so I didn't go to the MRI and didn't do any of that. So then one night in the beginning of June, the bone had gotten so weak from that fracture that I was going to go downstairs and check on the lights to make sure all the lights were turned out. And when I took a step on the first step, the bone just broke. It wasn't a clean break at all, it was a shatter break. So it was all over the place. My phone was in my office, and I had to drag myself back to the office. It was excruciating, but I didn't know what to do. And then I couldn't reach my phone. And it took me 3 hours to get help to come over here and actually unlock the doors and get emergency to come. Because I had wedged myself into a small area so I could try to reach my phone, we had a problem getting me out of there, and we had 10 firefighters that had to come and figure out how to maneuver things to get me out of that position and then get me to the hospital. So I got to the hospital. It happened at 9:30. I got to the hospital about 1:30 or 2. And the following day, they were going to do surgery right away, but they realized that the bone, from swelling so much, waiting so long to get there, the whole situation was so out of alignment that they had to put me on 15 pounds of traction for an entire day. So I was in traction for a while, and that was very interesting because every once in a while, I could feel the bone moving back into alignment, because I'm really tuned into my body. So I could feel the bone moving back into alignment, and that was really strange because it would stop for a while, and then I could feel it move again, and I knew that the femur bone was coming into alignment as good as it could, but there were fractures there too. There was pieces of the bone in other places because it was not a clean break. Well, then I had surgery and had the big old thing on my leg, and when they finally came to cut it out, I was surprised because the sutures were just a little suture up by the hip and 3 sutures around the knee. So when they took the cast, or this big, huge, tight Band-Aid thing off of my leg, my knee was bent just slightly through all of that process. It took a week to get that off. I was surprised because there was just a little suture up by the hip on the thigh, but up very high on the hip in the front by the quadricep. And then there was sutures around the knee. There was 2 on one side, 1 on the other side, and 1 underneath the knee, below the knee, I should say. Now, the rod was long, and they call it, in the physical therapy world, it was called to me like a nail, but they call it a rod because it sounds better. But it was like a nail was pounded in through the center of my femur bone. And what's having to happen is the bone has got to come together and heal around that rod, which it will do. It takes about a year for that to heal. So I went through rehab. I was there for a little over a week, and they were actually really happy with my progress because I was moving pretty quickly for my age and also in comparison to other people that have had that happen. So I was pleased about that. My vitals stayed steady through the entire thing, which was really, really good, and I was happy about that. But then getting home, I found out that I was really, really weak, and I realized that I had really lost a lot more weight than I had thought because I'd been in bed for so long. I was down to about 85 pounds, and my normal weight when I was in normal situations and growing up was always around 110, 115 pounds. I've gained some of that back, but I notice that some of my clothes still don't, they kind of fall off of me when I put them on. So that's a little frustrating. But it's changing. I'm eating well. I'm moving around very well. I have physical therapy coming to the house, which the insurance is paying for 100%, which is very good. They're giving me exercises, so I have my ballet bar out and I'm doing the exercises, which seem really simple, but they're really hard. My knee, when I left the rehab center, only bent at about, it started out at 30%, and when I left, it was about 60%, and now my knee is bending at 90%. But I don't have enough strength yet to walk to my mailbox, which is a block and a half away, and I can't drive because my knee won't bend to get to the brake, so it's kind of important that that works to get in this traffic. And then it's just a slow process, but I am getting better every day. I don't sleep very well because the pain comes into the knee. The knee is probably the most painful part. So the current situation that I'm in right now, even though I'm doing quite a few things, I do have to use a cane. And at night, I have to use a walker if I need to get up to use the restroom at night because I'm too wobbly. I don't yet have the strength in my right leg where the rod was to be able to put full weight on it. It's coming. It's going to be here soon, but it's not quite there yet. And I still have to get my knee to bend farther than 90% in order to do that. But the physical therapists are very, very happy about my progress. And they're going to continue to extend their work with me until I can drive. So I'll let you know when I'm driving again. It's been exciting, it's been painful, it's been an experience. And one of the other things that I realized is that how good humanity really is, because when I was moving, there was so much help that came. And Corrina was there. She helped a tremendous amount. And I just am so grateful for all of that. But people came, they brought trucks, they moved me. Everything was really good. The only thing was I couldn't find much because everybody packed things differently, but that was a small problem compared to having to try to do all that myself. Before the injury happened, I was working people sometimes 6 days a week. The least that I would see people in a day would be 2 or 3, and I would work as many as maybe 4 or 5. That was typically what I would do. Sometimes there was slower weeks and all that, but usually I would work anywhere from 5 to 7 days a week. What's happened now since I'm recovering still, if I see 4 people a week, it's about all I can handle. So I can do 3 people coming in from Houston when they come like that because they're coming from such a long distance. But at the end of that third person, I'm really exhausted, and it takes me a couple days to actually recover. I didn't have any income in June, and I'm almost up to the having enough energy to work a fuller load. But in July, I'm probably got about a quarter to a third of the income that I usually make. I had my clients seemed to be a little bit more serious coming in with their issues. And I feel like my work is actually developing into being much stronger than it was before because I went through this experience and it's taught me so much. It's taught me a whole lot. I can't even begin to tell you because it would take forever. But the things that I've learned through this experience have brought me to a place where I'm so much more appreciative of the work that I've been doing. And it feels like my energy is stronger and people are getting much more out of the sessions than they did before. Even though they got a lot out of the sessions, it just seems like they're getting more. So thank you so much for all of your support. I really, really, really appreciate it. And I'm looking forward to making more videos here with Corrina and get them out to you. And I just want to say thanks one more time, and I'll see you soon. Thank you.